Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be talking about why trading one currency pair will be the absolute best decision you'll ever make in your trading journey. Now, if you know this about me, I only trade Euro US dollar, and there are a couple of reasons for that. The first one being I do live in the UK, so it fits around my time zones very, very well. And I never really have to worry about big moves happening overnight because most of the volume happens in the daytime when I'm awake trading. The second reason is because with Euro US dollar and also actually a lot of other major pairs, in fact, they are a lot more clear and consistent what they're wanting to do rather than trading something like a Japanese yen pair or like gold, for example. They tend to be a little bit more, I wouldn't say unpredictable, because you can always use different things in the market to try predict where the market will go. But I would say they're not as consistent in how they move. You can't backtest it as well as you could of Euro US dollar and see a consistent pattern over a longer period of time, for example. Because, for example, actually, gold, going back to this, gold moves a lot based on things happening in the world, like war happening or crises happen. Gold moves a lot based on events like that, whereas Euro US dollar or pound US dollar, as random examples, they move heavily around the two economies of those countries. And those economies are incredibly stable and they're not really going to go anywhere in the foreseeable future. So, the first point of why I only trade one pair is going to be FOMO. Now, this is better known as fear of missing out, and I'm sure a lot of people experience this within trading. Now, if you're jumping between different pairs or looking at different pairs, you will come across FOMO a lot, okay? You will go on a random pair you don't really trade that often or you never trade at all, and you'll see a setup and you'll think if you should take it or not, right? But it isn't part of your trading plan. You see a setup that you wouldn't usually take as you've just stumbled across it, and you might jump into the market without properly knowing the higher time frame or things like that. And this can cause you pain because if you lose it, I'm not saying you will, but if you lose that trade, you'll beat yourself up over the fact you shouldn't have traded it. It's not your pair to trade, okay? Sticking to one trade will reduce fear of missing out a lot because everything else happening in different markets you can completely ignore. You know what you're looking for in your pair, so you can stick to it and not worry about missing on the move you're looking for. The next point is going to be learning how your pair moves. Now, what do I mean by this? So with backtesting and looking at previous data, each pair will move differently in different situations, right? Even pairs are very similar, like the pound US dollar and euro US dollar. They will move a little bit similar because they're heavily correlated by the US dollar, and that is the biggest mover of those markets. However, they do move differently and react differently depending on what you're looking at. I'm going to quickly draw you an example of what I mean by this. So let's say you trade support and resistance. I'll use the most generic trading thing you can think of. So I'll draw two lines here, one being the support and one being resistance, right? So let's say you're looking at price going between these two areas. Let's say this is the daily time frame, and you notice it reacting off each one. You'll notice within here there will be lower time frame support levels and also lower time frame resistance levels that you might want to trade. So for example, on a lower degree, you would have these as a resistance and then these as support levels you might want to trade. But if you understand truly how your pair moves, you'll understand what mostly it reacts off. So let's say you trade, I don't know, it doesn't matter what pair I use, but Euro US dollar. And let's say you look at the daily time frame and you notice that support and resistance are a lot stronger at this time frame and react a lot of the time. Again, if you go down to a lower time frame, you may notice a lot of the support and resistance levels on, like, let's say the 15-minute time frame don't work. So you might want to increase your time frame you trade on based on this backtesting information. So this is learning your own pair. You need to go back and see what works. I'm using support and resistance as a random example for this because simply everyone knows it pretty much. So You can implicate this in any trading strategy you have. You can go back, look at different time frames, understand where your strategy reacts the most and where it applies the most. And this will be for individual pairs. I made this at a few videos back actually, that I will be trading off the 71 fib level on Euro US dollar because I have backtested and checked data, and I've noticed a lot of the time when you get an initial impulse like this and then you fib it, most of the time, again, don't take my word for this, please test stuff like this yourself. Most of the time, I notice that it will usually come down to the 71 fib level before you then get the next impulse and the next trend that you can follow, right? That is why I trade off the 71 fib level. It doesn't mean it can trade off any other level, because it does. It reacts off pretty much every level at some point. But I'm saying the most common factor that I've found out is the 71 fib level. So I know what to look for in this pair a lot better than what someone would who doesn't trade Euro US dollar a lot, okay? The next point I'm going to talk about is patience. Now, this sort of relates back into fear of missing out a little bit. So patience is very, very important in trading. You have to be able to sit on your hands and not take every single setup you see, because if you're only trading one pair, you'll need more patience than you would if you're trading 20 pairs, for example, right? Because if you're trading 20 pairs, you would see loads of setups daily, but you don't know it properly. If you're trading 20 pairs, you can't properly know the insides and outs of that pair. That's why trading one is the best, because you understand the backbones of that pair and know what to do in different situations, right? So you know when to be patient and when you shouldn't be, and when you should actually enter the market. Knowing your pair can help with this patience a lot. If you understand your pair properly, you'll know when you need to be patient and when you shouldn't be jumping into the market. Another reason you should only trade one pair is that you'll be able to stick to your trading plan a lot better. If you have on your trading plan, you only trade one pair and that is completely it, you can sometimes look at the chart and see there's no setups for the day and walk away, and that'll be it. If you do not have a rule on what pairs you trade or what specific pair you trade, then you may be flicking between different charts and looking at different setups you may never even thought about at the beginning of the day, and it's not healthy for you. You need to be in control of your trading and sticking to your trading plan. Your trading plan is there to protect your capital and make you a profitable trader. If you do not stick to it, you will fail and lose money. It is as simple as that, okay? Stick to one pair and do not hop around looking at other pairs. And finally, the point I want to make is it keeps it very simple. Using one pair is very important to keeping trading simple. Trading isn't a complex thing. I have a slogan, I still believe it's actually in my YouTube banner. It's trading is simple, not easy. And what I mean by that is it's very simple to learn. You can learn strategies fairly quickly and easily. But the hard part is implementing it into your own trading and actually sticking to it. The hardest part is fear of missing out and fear of losing money and things like that, which really complicate trading and mess with your head. You know, if you could keep trading completely simple and stick to your plan, you will make money. Trading is not a hard thing. The hardest thing is mastering your own brain. That is why I think keeping one pair only will do the best absolutely for your trading psychology. I know it's a bit of a short video, but I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got some knowledge and insights from this and learned something new. If you liked the video, like it. If you disliked it, dislike it. Feel free. Comment below if you agree or disagree with me as well, and what you think about one currency pair trading. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. I'll speak to you very, very soon.